From the legendary Warner Fest Studios in a predominantly white neighborhood, Warner Fest presents Showtime with the Poor Low.
Paulo, you like some movie?
Yeah, hello, you like some movie. How are you?
Hello, you like some movie? Oh, hi, Paul.
How are you?
Paul's great.
Paul's really great. Paul's great.
Paulo, I'm sorry we had a movie up to Thursday this week.
That's okay.
But you were thinking maybe even Thursday is the night you want to go on.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, obviously you seem to, doubt my veracity at times.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I don't know what I mean. But in other words, you say that I don't see the movies, and I have seen the movies. So, I mean, I can see them before I read reviews. That seems to be the...
well, I only go by what Fez says. If Fez has seen you and said you don't watch full movies.
I have gone to the movies with you, Paulo. You duck from theater to theater. You see about 5 minutes at a time of different films.
She's going to be wondering why I'm talking on the phone. So, like, yes, Gail, what?
It's the cops.
I'm talking to Ron. It says leave the house now.
She sounds like nice Gail again, huh?
Yeah, she's on the Lexapro and stuff, yeah.
And that's got her really calmed down.
It's an up and down thing, but...
She's on Lexapro.
Yeah. Right, we were settling her down for the evening. Okay, yeah, sorry. Oh, because the dogs got all upset. I was trying to get out of the house without a disturbance, but it didn't work. Sorry, dog. See you later.
She makes you talk to the dogs?
This doesn't happen with any other reviewer.
I understand. Anyway, I saw Ray and I saw Saw, and those are the two movies that are opening big this week. Yeah,
When did you see Saw?
I saw Saw last week.
What did I say?
Saw.
And it's been a weird week, too, because I wanted to see this What the Bleep movie last week, and I walked into some kind of a charity thing with Meg Ryan and Robert Kennedy Jr.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm very confused. Let's just go back.
I know. It's been a weird week.
All right. Where did you see Meg Ryan?
She was at a function, which was a screening of a Silver City, so I got to see another movie instead of What the Bleep. So it's been a very busy week.
Now, have you seen What the Bleep?
Yeah, I did see What the Bleep.
What did you think of that?
Okay, obviously, it's a little more specific in dealing with a lot of the New Age concepts than I Heart Huckabee. It gets into a lot of things that's kind of hard to get into in a very brief way. You have to sort of go in depth. It's very, it's very scientific, quantum physics, and a lot of...
Yeah, I saw the film, and I thought, like, some parts of them, like, this is great, and other parts of it just seemed childish.
Well, it did seem to really offer no answers by the end.
Yeah.
You sort of, this is very exciting, and then by the end it just seems to just teeter off.
Yeah, I agree with something that you're talking about. A couple points I'm going, I think I love this, and then I'm going, no, I don't at all. Matter of fact, they don't even like it.
Well, I mean...
It was like seeing a bad lecture.
Obviously to try and talk to people about a film that, say atoms are made of nothing, so basically we're made of nothing.
Right.
And yet we can affect our body by our emotions, and our cells basically mutate based on how we feel and all these kind of things. I mean, you could go on and on with the conversation about some of the stuff in this movie. So yeah, it's been a busy week.
Your wife is made up of more atoms than anybody.
Yeah, so I mean, I did see Saw, and I did see Ray.
All right, let's do Saw first. What do you got there?
Okay, Saw, obviously, Halloween movie. Frankly, I kind of thought it was a ripoff of Seven. And
is that right?
Yeah, because, I mean, it's all about two guys locked in a kind of dank basement, chained to pipes, and then they have to figure out what's going on. And there's some kind of mastermind who is feeding them clues about what to do, how to get out of this mess. And it becomes, just one of those mind game things. I'm out of breath running from the dog.
This is the worst review ever.
Who released the dogs on you?
Who let the dogs out?
Ronnie, we got ourselves a runner.
Okay. So anyway, so it does keep up the suspense pretty well. It is pretty scary. But then you got Danny Glover playing this kind of crazy detective, And, everybody just starts making it into a parody by the end of the movie. Everybody starts overacting to some kind of crazy degree. So you think that, well, did the director really mean this to be a parody of serial killer movies? Which is what I believe, but it's hard to tell for sure. So in the long run, you wind up starting being scared and then come out laughing.
So in the long run, it's like Scream?
Yeah, but Scream, you knew they were trying to put you on. I'm not sure about this one, which could be a good thing. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's effective as a scare movie for most of the movie. So it's really the last 20 minutes that things just go completely nuts.
Well, that's great.
I know.
Because no one shows up at a movie for the great endings.
I know. It has it has one of those super twisty endings, and, do you take it seriously, or do you I can't obviously reveal it, so there you go. That's the conundrum we're in now.
All right, what about Ray?
Ray, the big autobiographical movie about Ray Charles. Jamie Foxx, his big Oscar bid, and he is great in the movie, but the movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Why do they make movies so damn long?
Because they're trying to cover the man's 80-year-old life. That's the problem. For some reason, that every moment of his life is so interesting that we have to watch it all.
And that's
skip the part where he was on Designing Women as a guest star.
Here's my point. The guy's blind, right?
Yeah.
Why not just do the whole thing as a radio play then? Since he can't see.
Through Ray's eyes.
Aside from the heroin addiction and the blindness thing and the discrimination thing, frankly, the guy had a blessed life. He didn't have that much conflict. He has a little bit of an adultery thing going on. So
other than that blindness.
He was a blind junkie. I think he's the only blind guy in America who's ever pulled over for speeding. He was actually in a car and got busted for speeding, and he's blind.
But, he's got a very positive image. The guy seems to always smile all the time you ever see him, that big giant grin. And, so in a way you see the other side of him, the kind of canny businessman.
Any Pepsi commercials in this?
No.
So that, to me, would be funny if they just made a huge deal out of that.
And then it would go over 3 hours altogether. It'd be 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Maybe that'll be on the DVD. So, nothing to see this weekend, then.
I'm just saying, the Ray Charles movie has been really pushed at me as being a great movie, and I think it's just a little dull. Overall.
Is it better than the Tina Turner What's Love got to do with it?
Well, there was a lot of fighting in that movie if you sort of get into that. It's just, he's got the heroin addiction, he's got the blindness problem, and it's inspirational. If anything, the movie's inspirational, that his talent and his willpower overcame all of these problems.
That's why I say we don't give any help to blind people, because they just could play the piano.
And that's kind of what his mother did. His mother, when he fell and he screamed, "Mommy," she just stood there and watched him.
Oh, speaking of which, Fez, you got to get a hold of your mom.
That's right.
Because then he could hear the hummingbird outside, and he could hear the sizzling stove.
So now he's Daredevil.
Exactly.
Does he jump off a building?
What happens? He has super hearing. Ray Charles had super hearing.
I had no idea.
No one ever told us that.
Well, he never needed headphones. I know that for a fact. Every time he went to the studio, he had super hearing.
And the next thing, he's karate chopping people, and I don't understand.
I don't want to see any of these movies. I got to tell you the truth, Paulo. They all just stink.
Well, you've got to see a Halloween movie, so either you go see The Grudge or you see Saw.
No, I don't have to see a Halloween movie. And I don't think I'm going to see one Christmas movie. There's a million of them coming out this year, too.
Well, you got to see Surviving Christmas. You got months to see it.
I doubt that. I think maybe you have hours to see that before it's yanked out of the multiplexes.
It might be on video by Christmas.
That's funny. They actually were handing out the videos as people were leaving the theater.
Please take your DVD copy.
All right, Paulo, you got nothing for us.
I'm not saying that. I saw Meg Ryan the other night. What do you want from me?
Did you talk to her?
No, I was going to see What the Bleep, and the next thing I know, I'm seeing Silver City and Meg Ryan standing there. It was surrounded by a huge throng of people.
Meg?
Meg? Seriously, how did she look?
Her lips, I could see them from across the room.
What is that all about? What did she do with her lips?
I think they take the fat from the butt and they put it in the lips.
I'd rather take the fat from the lips and put it in the butt.
But it's an exciting week.
Polo, Sean's got a question for you. Oops, hold on. Hey, Sean, go ahead and talk to our friend Polo.
Yeah, I struggle trying to find my vein. How does he find it if he's blind?
Yeah, if he was a junkie, Polo, how does he shoot up?
Well, apparently, as I say, his senses of hearing and touch.
He can hear his vein.
He can hear the blood coursing through it.
Truly. He can do amazing things. It's like Daredevil. That's what it was.
And his mom wouldn't help him shoot up. She left him on his own.
That's how he became a superhero.
All right, Apollo, somebody just sent us this. See if you can guess the correct answer. This is some British magazine. Greatest living movie star. Oh, who would you pick right now, Polo?
Okay, I didn't actually look at this survey. I was going to look at it later tonight, so I'm going to have to make a complete guess. Obviously, who do we lose? We just lost all of the old ones like Katharine Hepburn, so trying to think who's left. I just went over this. Mickey Rooney's pretty old, but we're not talking. Actually, Mickey Rooney, Richard Widmark, and Glenn Ford are all still alive in their late 80s. I
had no idea that Richard Widmark and Glenn Ford were still alive. I'm shocked.
I was shocked, to be honest with you, because I checked it a few weeks ago. I can't hazard a guess at this point.
So thanks for playing the game. We really appreciate it.
Meg Ryan. Is it Meg Ryan?
I know it's not Glenn Ford, Richard Widmark, or Mickey Rooney.
Well, from process of elimination.
Did you know that both Jane Wyman and Jane Wyatt were alive?
No, I had no idea. Warren, you had a question for Paulo.
Paulo, I just got to say, what do you think the Seed of Chucky's going to do?
I don't know. They're releasing that in November, so clearly they're not going for the Halloween audience.
Actually, it's released Halloween night.
Yeah, I see the ads everywhere, Paulo.
Well, I had heard that the release date was November 12th, which was weird. So it makes more sense to
release. The Christmas movies are coming out on Halloween. The Halloween movies are coming out closer to Thanksgiving.
It doesn't make sense. Now, you do realize that Jennifer Tilly is part of the plot of this movie.
Yeah.
She
plays Jennifer Tilly?
Yeah, and
she does the voice of the
character,
the girlfriend.
Yeah, so she's now graduated from being a B actress to a major plot device.
In what world? In what world is she a major plot device?
I guess the next step is being Jennifer Tilly for some kind of crazy movie, maybe.
What happened to her sister? Meg Tilly.
So she married somebody rich.
Oh yeah, because Meg Tilly was like the famous one. And then Jennifer Tilly came in and had the great breast.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's a silly movie, Seeds of Chucky.
All right, Paulo, a question for you. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, Paulo, have you ever heard of the documentary Afro Punk?
Afro Punk? No, actually, I haven't heard of it. Is this just coming out?
Well, it's kind of been out, but it's not like in major release yet.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's like the What the Bleep movie. It's filtering up.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Like the documentary.
Paulo doesn't see most of the movies.
That's not true.
What about the I Heart Huckabees? Did you like that or what?
Well, we had this discussion. I Heart Huckabees kind of was an entertainment which just touched on a lot of philosophical ideas. What the Bleep really goes deep into the philosophical and the scientific ideas and then kind of just gets lost.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
He asked you about Huckabees, not about What the Bleep.
I know, I answered that question, but because both movies really should be seen together.
No, that's crazy.
What's the symbol for hate? So I can do I hate Paulo.
I don't know. It would be
a bloody heart. I bloody heart Paulo.
Yeah, that would be it. Like a split heart. That'd be broken heart. That would be broken heart Paulo.
Why don't you go run from the dogs?
Here's Gary. Gary, you're on the Fez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Gary.
Thanks, Fez. I just saw this one on, whatever, the website. Being Julia, it's at our Cinema Arts Theater. Is anything on that?
Well, from what I can, it's not, it's not a big movie. It's Annette Bening and Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of talk about maybe she's going to pick up an Academy Award nomination.
Well, that's basically it. Her performance is so over the top, it really does generate a lot of excitement. In that world, I mean, who care about theater?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
The country buffet that's in that mall.
Yeah.
Before you see some white people walking out of there.
I'm not about to go near a country buffet.
No.
Hey,
J-Dubs and El Jefe constantly try to get me to go to Old Country Buffet.
I don't want to see old people eat.
$7 and you get all you can eat.
Yeah, $7 and all I can eat is just looking through the window. Paulo.
So
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether you were aware of this last night. If you saw this at the very end of the Red Sox win. I mean, literally while everybody was running across the field, you see Jimmy Fallon out there making out with Gertie from E.T.
Drew Barrymore.
I don't know why I can't remember her name. I always just remember
Gertie.
Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? So they were actually shooting the end of Fever Pitch during the World Series.
Well, this whole thing, you had Stephen King doing a book about the Red Sox during all of this. There's all kinds of supernatural stuff going on with this team. Apparently there's voodoo and witch doctors involved with the Red Sox. And, it's bad juju.
I don't know. I mean, you got to admit this. For Jimmy Fallon, who Fez has just counted off because of the Taxi movie, I think this one's going to be a major hit. I think everybody's going to want to go because what a lucky break to be making the movie. I mean, I don't know whether you guys read Fever Pitch or saw the British Fever Pitch.
Nope.
But basically, it is the story of a guy who lived and died with his team. A picture like the way your brother follows a team where he's just totally freaked out and he's trying to keep a relationship together. And when the team wins, it's like something is released in him. It's like, okay, now I can kind of go on with my life, and I don't need them to win as much. You couldn't have picked a better team to be following on a better year than what these Farley brothers did.
The coincidence is really, really astounding. That they would, after 86 years, they would win the World Series while this is being done.
Yeah. I mean, this thing was about the Arsenal soccer team in England. So, I mean, it was almost
then
the
they
same
made it
thing.
about the World Series.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Nick Hornsby movie, and I'm trying to figure out how did this become the American World Series?
Well, Fever Pitch in Britain, they call the soccer field the pitch for whatever reason. And then I guess the pitch worked in for baseball. So, I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, what's pitch in American baseball?
You pitch the ball, you idiot.
You have pitchers, and they pitch the ball. Here's the pitch.
That makes sense.
You half a fag. Bob, you're on with Paulo.
Hi, gentlemen. I heard about 2 biopics coming up this year that were supposed to be pretty good. It was called The Aviator by Martin Scorsese.
I will see that.
Yeah.
And Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp playing J.M. Barrie.
Yeah, I have seen Finding Neverland, and I already went out on a limb and said it was one of the best pictures of the year.
Ever, you said.
Well, of the year, I didn't say ever. I mean, and it's Kate Winslet again, so she's got 2 big movies this year. And, I'm very thrilled.
Hold on. I saw what you said about, let's see, I got your review because I wrote it down because it was so shocking. He said, Finding Neverland will affect Americans more than 9/11. So that surprised me.
That was a blur.
Don't you think that's a little much, Paulo?
I think that was, I tore that up.
So, Paulo, you loved Finding Neverland, huh?
Yes, I did. I mean, it's a very sensitive movie. It's not everybody's cup of tea because it's sensitive. It's about artists trying to struggle.
Hang on.
What do you mean? Me and Fez, a couple of Bruckheimer heads. We're not going to get it. We're a couple knuckle draggers.
Well, I wasn't.
Dodos.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
That still hurts. Huh?
Yeah.
I wasn't pointing fingers.
Yeah, it seems like you were. Because remember, when you point a finger at us, what's happening with you?
My thumb goes in my eye. I'm not sure.
You got 3 more back at you, and then your thumb up at God. So,
see.
We got to take a break, Paulo.
All right, sorry.
Your review's stunk, but at least you're getting phone calls, so I can't complain.
That's true. And, it's not my fault again because I didn't make the movies.
What's
That's his catchphrase.
That's so funny. And if you don't like it, don't blame me. I don't make the movies.
I don't make the movies.
What's next week, Paulo?
All right.
Alfie?
What?
The Alfie?
Alfie, yeah, Alfie. That looks like a dog. Actually, I was supposed to see that tonight, but I'll catch up with it next week.
You don't see the movies.
He never sees the movies.
Tonight, I didn't. It's next week.
Don't blame me. I don't see the movies.
No,
I just recommend them.
The movies.
All right, Paulo, one more thing, and it's very important.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up, we got a band we can't wait to meet, Fez.
The Speaks will be in studio. They're going to be part of Ron and Fez Unsigned. That is tomorrow night at Fur Nightclub, Patterson Street in Washington, D.C.
Just reading away. Just reading away. Come see us.
Without looking.
Come see us. It's Ron and Fez.
That's brought to you by Heineken.
That's a beer, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Delicious. All right, we'll take a break. Back in a few moments, Ron and Fez.